heaven, Mac.
It may not have been my favorite island in the game, but Chaos Island did deliver on giving that upgraded character development that Tails truly needed. What I have to say I enjoyed most about Tails' character portrayal in this game is that it seemed to fully address everything that was wrong with this character before. And not only that, but it embraced that. It made it part of this character where even he knew his own flaws. I feel like it could have been extremely easy for Sega or the writers of Sonic Frontiers to just completely ignore the previous history with Tails and try to create some sort of new character, but also still relying in that familiar territory with Tails. But in this way, I feel like you actually add weight to every single one of these Sonic games by having these characters truly reflect on their actions in those games. Like Tails addresses here in one of the cutscenes in this game, that he was afraid of Infinite and shied away from the big challenges against them in Sonic Forces. Sonic Frontiers is truly a pivotal turn for Tails' character going forward. Throughout the entirety of his time spent in this game, or at least the majority of it, he's guarding a Coco who actually has a similar story to himself. This Coco wearing goggles is able to be Tails for Tails. Essentially, Tails is able to look into a mirror and fully understand exactly how he functions in the exact same way that this Coco does. You see, this pilot Coco wearing goggles is freaking out the moment they find out that their hero is not showing up, even though the preparations have already been put in place. The Coco is fearful that something has happened to the one who's supposed to save them all. And Tails looks at this and sees himself in this exact same image. You see, he's going through situations where Sonic was unable to be there for him, and he's only been able to just cower in fear as a response, as we saw here, like once again, in Sonic Forces. I can't understate this. The manner in which Tails' character development was done in this game was truly amazing, because rather than having Tails just sit there and reflect on his previous history of being afraid of Eggman monsters or even big-time threats, he actually is able to see someone else go through that exact same thing, and he uses the experience that he had in his own life to kind of figure out where this person is coming from, and in that way, he's able to realize just how far he needs to go in terms of his growth. Even within the very scene Tails first comes to this realization, he tells the Coco words of encouragement. Listen to me, the others are counting on you. I'm here to help, so don't give up. In the very scene where Tails is able to identify his own misactions in the past, he's able to make an adjustment and be there for someone when someone wasn't there for him in the past, when Sonic wasn't there. Much like Amy and Knuckles, of which I've talked about in previous videos, which you should definitely go check out, the three of them are able to kind of grow and develop because of what they see in these Cocos. Seeing the three of them put their own needs behind the needs of those who they really don't even know is truly fascinating. Like, for example, when Sonic asks Tails if he just needs to sit down and kind of have a conversation about what he's just been told about how Infinite scared the dickens out of him, Tails says not right now, let's just focus on finding the emeralds. But to almost contradict the very notions and focuses that Tails has in mind in collecting the Chaos Emeralds, he insists that he and Sonic also aid and support helping the Coco as well. But during this whole process of Sonic and Tails' time on the Chaos Island, Tails finally begins to ask the question to Sonic.
Sonic, am I a burden to you?
And as I said earlier in the video, this leads Tails to come to the conclusion that he is wildly inconsistent, to which Sonic has to remind him that everybody needs help every now and then, and that's just a part of growing up. And I think that is truly what is next for Tails. You see, at the end of Sonic and Tails' interactions together in the Chaos Islands, or at least towards the end, Tails says to Sonic that he thinks he should probably go off on his own for a while. And essentially, this is literally the cleanest cut answer I feel like I could give anyone in these what's next for this character videos. You see, Tails is so direct in what he's going to do that it's really easy to find out what's next for Tails. For him, it's going to just be going off on his own, making adventures for himself, and having stories to tell. He's going to grow and develop under his own light. And I feel like Sonic Frontiers kind of gives us a glimpse of what the future of Tails is going to look like towards the end, where Sonic succumbs to the cyberspace corruption, and Tails is the first one to jump into action, suggesting a whole new battle plan for them. Tails wants to prove to not just Sonic, but himself, that he can truly grow into his full potential, and all he has to do is do it himself. At the end of the game, Tails says to Sonic, "You're gonna hardly recognize me when we see each other again." This should help make things abundantly clear that Sonic and Tails are gonna be parting ways for at least a little while, and in this time, Tails is gonna grow unlike anything we've ever seen before. For the longest time, this character has always wanted to fly high, so what's next for him is finally getting that opportunity.
Why are you playing that trash?